That concludes today's calendar. I want to go to Lita Blazajewski.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to Rule 47, I proxy votes in favor of item number 3 by Representative Lombardi, Representative Slater, Representative O'Brien. Thank you.
So ordered. Placed on file. Thank you. Chairman Kovaci.
Mr. Speaker, if I could be recorded in the affirmative in 1 and 3.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Chairman Casey.
Thank you, Speaker. Same request without objection. Items 1, 2, and 3 in the positive.
So ordered. Will not change the outcome. Chairwoman McEntee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I be recorded in the affirmative on item number 1?
So ordered. Chairman, Deputy Speaker Pro Tem Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Without objection, I'd like to be recorded on item number 1 in the affirmative.
So ordered. Representative Phillips.
Oh, you too?
Announcement, Mr. Speaker.
Please proceed.
I'd like to wish my wife a happy birthday today. It's her birthday today, and she's celebrating the anniversary of her 39th birthday.
Happy birthday. And let's hope you take her out someplace very nice tonight. Thank you. I'm going to read several people so we can stand up in line to speak. Representative Morgan, and then I will go to Chairman Craven.
Speaker, could I be recorded in the affirmative on number 1, please?
So ordered. Same request for Representative Nardone. Thank you. Same request for Representative Alzate. Thank you. Chairman Craven.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement?
Proceed.
It's with great pleasure that I have the opportunity to stand on the House floor and congratulate a constituent of mine, Ann Wilder, who will celebrate her 100th birthday at 12 o'clock tonight. Happy birthday.
It's my dad's 95th at midnight tonight, so thank you. Representative Knight, and then I will go to Representative Cortravan. Representative Knight.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement, please. Mr. Speaker, I want to take the opportunity to congratulate a constituent of mine today, that being one Talia Gellanicknight, my daughter, on the occasion of casting her very first vote in an election just today. Congratulations, Talia.
Please, the microphone's having a little trouble with all the background noise. I keep forgetting that we're in an auditorium. Representative Cortravan. Representative Cortravan?
Did you turn it on?
It is on.
There we go. Okay. You have to stand back a little bit. Adjournment, please, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Thank you. I'd like to adjourn today in memory of Keith Cordell Humphreys. He was a Portsmouth resident. He died this past week. He served time in the Navy and had a long career in banking, and he was very civically engaged in our town. He was in the Rotary. He was on every committee. I served with him on the Economic Development Committee and our West Side Development Committee as well. So he's survived by his wife and children, and I ask that we adjourn in his memory today.
Certainly. Sorry for your loss, and to his family as well. Representative McLaughlin. And then we'll go to Representative Chairwoman Diaz after that.
Speaker.
Representative McLaughlin.
Yes, announcement, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Yeah, I'd like to close in memory of Chris Young. This week is his anniversary week coming up. Basically, Chris was 52 years old. The last thing he did in life was testified for the unborn. 45 minutes later, he died. He leaves a wife, Carrie Young, and Mary. I ask that you keep them in their prayers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chairwoman Diaz,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a request.
proceed.
One is to, can you please record me affirmative for item 2?
Item number 2,
And the second
so
one.
ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The second one is back to Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Second,
Ask you to hold that for 1 minute, because I will go back to new business. I just want to do it at the end, because everybody's still collecting signatures, but we'll do that very shortly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Whip Kazarian,
Mr. Speaker, request
proceed.
may be recorded in the affirmative on item 2.
Certainly, so ordered.
Thank you.
Chairman Azanaro, and then Representative Casimiro.
Thank you, Speaker. Request for adjournment, please.
Proceed.
This morning, we buried a good friend of mine, Carol Pizo, who died at a very young 76 years old. So I'd like to adjourn in her memory, please.
So ordered. Sorry for your loss. Representative Casimiro,
An adjournment, please, Speaker.
proceed.
Today I ask that the House of Representatives adjourn in the honor and memory of Gary Olsen. Gary was a 50-year-old North Kingstown resident who passed away on February 10th. He was the beloved husband of Tracy Olsen for 28 years. He succumbed to the silent wounds of combat. A U.S. Army combat veteran, Gary served a tour in Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. He was an infantryman and was honored with many, many medals, all before his honorable discharge from active duty in 2012. He was a member of the Rhode Island National Guard and a North Kingstown VFW 152. He is the devoted father of Tristan, Justin, and Marissa Olsen, and I ask that we adjourn in his memory.
So ordered. Sorry for your loss, Representative, and to his family as well. Chairwoman Fella Wilkinson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a couple of requests. First,
Proceed.
I would like my attendance to be annotated as being present. And
So ordered.
I would like to vote affirmatively on item 2 and 3.
So ordered.
And then finally, I have a request for an adjournment. I would like to adjourn today in honor of Ms. Shaylyn Schumacher, or Ms. Shay, as she's known at the Sherman Elementary School. Ms. Shay perished in a house fire on February 18th. She went back into the house to retrieve her dog, and unfortunately, Warwick Fire Department found her and the dog dead in a bedroom. So she is very beloved by the faculty, the students, and the staff at Sherman Elementary School, so I would ask that we adjourn in her honor.
Certainly, it was a Warwick resident, and very tragically, she will be missed. And I received some decals that I will give to you after session today for pets in the home because of her passing. So my condolences to her and her family, and we gladly will adjourn in her memory. Thank you.
Speaker.
Representative Chippendale, and then Chairman Kovaci.
Thank you, Speaker. Without objection, I would like to be recorded in the affirmative on all votes before the body this afternoon.
Thank you. So ordered. Chairman Kovaci. Just a minute, Chairman. Please, Chairman, proceed.
Adjournment, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
I'd like the House this afternoon to adjourn in the memory of Gloria Mollus. Gloria was the mother of Catherine, Joseph, and former Secretary of State Ralph Mallis. Gloria was a wonderful woman, and she was very devoted to her family. She was involved in her community, and she's going to be sorely missed, not only by her family, not only by her friends, but the neighborhood at large. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Our condolences to her family, and especially Mayor Mallis. Representative Lima, Deputy Speaker Lima, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request?
Proceed.
Affirmative on number 3, please.
So ordered. Representative Norrie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement?
Proceed.
Thank you. I'd like to wish a happy birthday to my mother-in-law, Yvette Londrash. Tomorrow she will be 85 years old. Happy birthday, Mom.
God bless. Thank you. Happy birthday. Chairwoman Williams, do you want to speak? Thank you, Chairwoman. After that, we're going to go back to new business, and then there'll be an announcement by the leader, Representative Potter, while we're waiting for Chairwoman Williams. Representative.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just a request to be marked in the affirmative on the first item.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Chairwoman Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to be recorded in the affirmative for the last vote we took, for the record.
So ordered. Item number 3, Chairwoman Williams in the affirmative.
And also, Mr. Speaker, I would like to offer this House resolution on your behalf, expressing deepest condolences on the passing of the Honorable Alton W. Wiley, the first African-American judge to sit on the Rhode Island's District and Superior Court. It is seconded by myself, the Minority Caucus in its entirety, and I would ask that this be left on the desk for anyone who would like to sign on to it as well. But I have to also share some information about Honorable Wiley. As I mentioned, he was the first African-American judge in the district and Superior Court. He pioneered an opportunity for several, I would love to say many, many more African Americans and judges of color to get in.
Chairwoman, excuse me 1 second. Please, continue, Chairwoman.
However, progress has certainly been made, but the battle was not easy at all. Trying to prove, just as Honorable Wiley proved, that he had it, he earned it, and deserved it. There are many more individuals of color that have done, doing, and will continue to achieve the opportunity of greatness like he did. As long as we, as this body, open up more doors and really utilize the scale of justice the way it's supposed to be. Justice is supposed to be blind, but we know Rhode Island has been peeking from its covers for years. Judge Wiley was not only an inspiration to the African American community, but he was an inspiration to Rhode Island's community, not only in the judicial, but also throughout the state and different departments. There isn't enough time for me to stand here and share with you all, did. Without looking for accolades, he did it quietly and accomplished much. So I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for stepping up, because many are not as courageous to step up and give credit where credit is due, in particular when it has to be or do with a person of color. It seems like people are afraid to be criticized. Many say, why are you so angry and upset when I'm your ally? I say to those individuals, you go at the end of the night and you look at the mirror and you say, yes, I lied. You're not a genuine ally. Because if you were, you would stand with me during the hard time, not just the good times. And that's what Honorable Wiley's talked about. We are together through every time, not just when it's convenient. So I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for stepping up and giving this honorable man his recognition, because it's due.
Thank you. Please send it up. I'll take a brief moment to tell you that my very first day as a lawyer, my very first day I was a city solicitor, I appeared for a trial, was before Judge Wiley, and he was so respectful to a young lawyer who did not know what he was doing. And I'll never forget Judge Alton Wiley, not only for all the accolades that Chairwoman Williams said, but just the way he conducted the courtroom with grace and class and compassion and strength. He'll be sorely missed throughout the legal community. Thank you. We will go back to new business one more time. Anybody who has new business, I have Leader Filippi to be recognized, and then Representative Giraldo after that. New business, Chairwoman Williams. New business, Representative Diaz, Representative Phillips with new business. Could you please hit the recognition button so I can see? I'm having difficulty with the lighting. For new business, Representative Morales with new business, Representative Speakman with new business, Representative Agello with new business, Representative Kazaa with new business, Chairwoman Diaz with new business, Chairman Casey with new business, Chairman Salm with new business, Whip Kazarian with new business, Representative Felix with new business. Representative Giraldo, do you want to speak or do you have new business? New business for Representative Giraldo. Representative, new business. She'll give it to Roberta right there. Thank you. Floor Manager Edwards with new business. Leader Filippi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the consent of the Majority Leader and myself in my capacity as Minority Leader, I have a resolution for immediate consideration, please.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This resolution congratulates Chief Vincent Carlone on his retirement after 40 years of exemplary public service. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Speaker.
you. Please send it up. Chief Carlone has been an exemplary police officer. Thank you. Representative Handy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to be reported in the affirmative on item 3 on today's calendar.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Giraldo. Then we're going to go to Leader Blazajewski.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the permission of the Majority Leader and Minority Leader, I have a few resolutions to present. One of them recognizing the celebration of the Lunar New Year, the Year of the Ox. Another honoring Private Ryan Griffin in the City of Central Falls Fire Department for his heroic acts. I have a resolution expressing condolences on the passing of George Baror. A resolution honoring Sonia Grace on the occasion of her retirement as City Clerk for the City of Central Falls. Honoring Police Chief Major Daniel Barzakowski on the occasion of his retirement from the City of Central Falls Police Department, honoring Central Falls Fire Chief Robert Bradley, occasion of honoring his retirement, and honoring Battalion Chief Ken Brusso of the City of Central Falls Fire Department on his retirement as well.
Thank you. Please send those up.
Will do.
Thank you. Leader Blazajewski.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement, please.
Proceed. Please pay attention. This is regarding new legislation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our next House session will be this Thursday, February 25th, here at the Vets at 4. House committees are meeting every day this week, including Friday, so please check the legislative website. Due to the pandemic and the high volume of bills that were drafted over the February recess, for those bills that are in the pipeline, we have extended the deadline for introduction to this Thursday, February 25th. This deadline extension is just for bills that are already in the pipeline. The desk will remain open. The bills can be dropped in the box in front of the rostrum here or in the Speaker's office. Also, as all of you know, we've been working to improve the committee process. There have been many challenges presented by the virtual testimony, so this message is really for members of the public who are interested in providing testimony. To ensure that all testimony is accurately received, shared with members, and posted to the legislative website in a timely manner, deadlines are required. Individuals interested in providing verbal testimony must submit their request by 11 a.m. on the day of a committee hearing. Written testimony must be submitted no later than 2 hours prior to any scheduled meeting. All written testimony received after the deadline will be sent to committee members and posted to the website within 24 hours. More information can be found on committee agendas. Finally, if you've not already completed and sent in your Rhode Island Owner's Manual form to the Secretary of State's website, Secretary of State's office, please do so as soon as possible. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to wish a very happy birthday last Sunday to Chair Grace Diaz.
Happy birthday.
And also a very happy birthday yesterday, to Representative Alex Marzukowski. Happy birthday, Grace. Happy birthday, Alex. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I have a resolution for condolences by Leader Blazajewski, seconded by Leader Filippi. All those in favor say aye. I have resolutions also for congratulations from Leader Blazajewski and seconded by Leader Filippi. Please say aye. Ayes have it. I have a House resolution extending congratulations by Leader Blazajewski, seconded by Leader Filippi. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. I have a House resolution congratulating the New Shoreham Police Chief Vincent Carlone on his retirement after 40 years of exemplary service, moved by Leader Filippi, seconded by Representative Tanzi, Representative Ho, Deputy Speaker Lima, and myself. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution passes. I have a resolution proposed by myself and Chairwoman Williams expressing the deepest condolences on the passing of the Honorable Alton Wiley, the first African-American judge to sit on the Rhode Island District and Superior Courts, seconded by many others. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution passes. I have a House resolution by Representative Giraldo, seconded by McLaughlin and Barrows, honoring Sonia Grace on the occasion of her retirement as City Clerk from the City of Central Falls. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution passes. I have another resolution from Representative Giraldo, seconded by Representative Fenton Fung and Leader Blazajewski, recognizing the celebration of the Lunar New Year, the Year of the Ox. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution shall prevail. I have a House resolution also by Representative Giraldo honoring Private Ryan Griffin of the City of Central Falls Fire Department. Moved by Representative Giraldo, seconded by Representative Barrows, McLaughlin, and Casey. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, say no. The ayes have it. The resolution shall prevail. I have another resolution honoring the Battalion Chief Ken Brousseau of the City of Central Falls Fire Department, moved by Representative Giraldo, seconded by Representative McLaughlin, Barrows, and Casey, and myself. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, say no. The ayes have it. I have another resolution honoring Police Chief Major Daniel Bazakowski on the occasion of his retirement from the Central Falls Police Department, moved by Representative Giraldo, seconded by Representative Barrows and McLaughlin. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. I have another resolution expressing the condolences on the passing of Jorge Bora from Representative Giraldo. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. I have a House resolution also from Representative Giraldo. I guess you're getting a lot of them done today. From the honoring Central Falls Fire Chief Robert Bradley on the occasion of his retirement. Moved by Representative Giraldo, seconded by McLaughlin, Barrows, Casey, and myself. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. That concludes the House resolutions. Any other announcements? Representative McEntee. Those resolutions will be left on the desk for signature. If anybody wants to sign after, the clerk will read Judge Wiley's resolution as well. Representative Chairwoman McEntee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to rise to express my sincere condolences on the passing of Judge Alton Wiley. I've known him for many years, from the start of my career, as a matter of fact, and he's always been an honest and fair judge. I knew him personally. I was, back when I was in the AG's office, his son Bill Wiley and I were partners, and I wanted to express my condolences to the entire family and just say he was quite a character. He had a great sense of humor, and he had a fairness that will always be remembered. So I just wanted to say those few words, and I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the time.
So true. Thank you, Chairwoman McEntee. Representative Diaz, please.
Request for announcement, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
I would like to share with you and all my colleagues a top secret. December 22nd came to life a beautiful baby Amber from our own state representative, Carlos Tobon. So I share that news that we have a new baby in the house. Thank you.
Congratulations, Representative Tobon. Thank you. Chairman Hull.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement, please.
Proceed. I believe you're the last light.
I am. I just want to thank you, Representative Williams, on being proud to be an African American in Rhode Island, and also sad to see a proud African American who became the first judge in Rhode Island. I thank you for what you said today, but Representative Williams, thank you for bringing it forward. It means so much to me as an African American to probably be the first in my family to be here in the State House, but it means so much. The first African American to be a judge in Rhode Island. You recognized him. We would do that anyways as an African American, but you as a speaker. And to his family, thank you for being a trailblazer, but thank you for saying we can do it. No disrespect to anybody else, but we've been neglected a little while. And I mean no disrespect. But I'm so happy and so proud. And I had to get up to say that today. It's almost sad to think the first was such a long time for it coming. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank you, Representative Williams. And I thank every African American who is here in the House and the rest of my distinguished colleagues for allowing me to say this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Hull. Spoken from the heart. Thank you. Is there any objection to transmitting all matters on the clerk's desk to Her Excellency the Governor, the Honorable Senate, or the Secretary of State forthwith? Hearing none, so ordered. Leader Blazajewski moves that the House adjourn in memory of Gregory Olsen, Keith Humphreys, Carol Pizo, Christopher Young, Shaylyn Schumacher, Gloria Mollus, the Honorable Alton Wiley, and Jorge Bora, seconded by Leader Filippi. Would all those please stand for a moment of silence? The House stands adjourned. Thank you. The desk shall remain open.
House resolution expressing deepest condolences on the passing of the Honorable Alton W. Wiley, the first African-American judge to sit on the Rhode Island District and Superior Courts. Whereas it is with deep sadness that this House has learned of the passing of the Honorable Justin Alton W. Wiley, a highly respected justice and the first African-American jurist to sit on the Rhode Island District and Superior Courts. And whereas Alton Wiley was the son of the late Olive and William Wiley and the brother of Lucille Davis, Beverly Wiley, Edward Wiley, and the late George Wiley and Shirley Green. He was a devoted partner of Mary Ann Conlon for more than 40 years and the beloved father of Alton Wiley Jr., Jacqueline Wiley, and Deanna Wiley. And whereas Justice Wiley graduated from the University of Rhode Island, where he excelled in both the classroom and athletics, earning Hall of Fame status in track and field. He also participated in the university's Army ROTC program and served our nation with honor and distinction as an active duty second lieutenant in France. From 1953 to 1979, he continued his service in the United States Army Reserve, retiring with the rank of lieutenant colonel. And whereas Justice Wiley attained his law degree from Boston University and built a sterling legal reputation in the ensuing years, serving as an assistant United States attorney, an assistant legal counsel in employment security, assistant public defender, and as a member of the Rhode Island Governor's Legislative Council. And whereas in 1981, the Honorable Alton Wiley became the first African American to serve on the Rhode Island District Court when he was appointed by former Governor J. Joseph Garrahy. He was subsequently elevated to the Rhode Island Superior Court, once again earning the recognition of becoming the first African American to serve as a Superior Court Justice. After a long and distinguished career, he retired in 1994. And whereas honored numerous times during the course of his illustrious career, Justin Wiley was the recipient of an honorary doctorate from the University of Rhode Island, was a member of the URI College of Business Administration Hall of Fame, and was a former URI Vice President of Student Affairs and past President of the Alumni Association. And whereas Justice Wiley was admired by all for his legal acumen, tireless work ethic, abiding concern for all who appeared in his courtroom, regardless of their station in life, and for the sagest wisdom he continually dispensed from the bench. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby expresses our gratitude for his devoted service to this state and our deepest condolences to the Wiley family on the passing of the Honorable Justice Alton Wiley. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to Mary Ann Conlon, Alton W. Wiley Jr., Jacqueline Wiley, Deanna Wiley, Lucille Davis, Beverly Wiley, and Edwin Wiley. House Resolution expressing condolences on the passing of Jorge Borra. Whereas Mr. Jorge Borra passed away on January 29, 2021. He was born in the Guatemala City, Guatemala, a son of the late Fidel Borra and Angela Mazul. He had made his home in Rhode Island since 1989 after living in Los Angeles for 9 years. And whereas Mr. Borra was a hardworking man who had been employed for more than 25 years as a floor finisher for the former Vegentech Flooring in Dedham, Mass. Mr. Borra was a well-liked, sociable person who loved music and karaoke and was also a big fan of the Barcelona Soccer Club, an excellent billiards player, and an avid saltwater fisherman. And whereas Mr. Borra leaves behind 2 sons, Jorge L. Borra and Jorge E. Borra, and his daughters, Paula Ortega and Samantha Borra. He is also survived by his 3 grandchildren and his former wife, Dalia Aglia. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby expresses its condolences to the Borra family on the passing of Jorge Borra, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to Jorge L. Borra, Jorge E. Borra, Paula Ortega, and Samantha Borra. House Resolution honoring Private Ryan Griffin of the City of Central Falls Fire Department. Whereas, as all firefighters know and carry with them into each and every fire situation they encounter, All fires can become erratic, unpredictable, and immensely dangerous, yet they consistently face the flames and protect our country's citizenry and our property, often going far and beyond the call of duty. And whereas, on February 7th of 2021, in the middle of the night, off-duty firefighter Private Brian Griffin was headed toward the fire station to work as a dispatcher for the night shift. As he drove down Dexter Street in the city of Central Falls, he began to notice an inordinate amount of smoke in the air. And whereas Private Griffin soon discovered the cause, heavy smoke was billowing from the roof and the eaves of one of the half-story home. He quickly pulled over and called the station as he approached the burning home, but was initially blocked from access by a 6-foot locked gate across the driveway. And whereas Private Brian made his way to the front of the home, he heard a woman blood-curdling scream from help coming from a second-floor window. After virtually locating the woman, he went to the rear of the home to try to gain entry. Unfortunately, fire was coming from the second-floor rear door, which made entry impossible. And whereas, returning to the window, Private Griffin attempted to convince the frightened woman to climb onto the fire escape, but she was too scared and clung to her dog just inside the window. With the fire quickly intensifying, he knew that there was little time before the flames would fully engulf the second floor. And whereas, taking a different approach, Private Griffin convinced the woman to throw her dog down into a snowbank, after which she calmed enough for him to persuade her to climb out and jump into his arms. The woman and her dog were miraculously saved without injury, and shortly thereafter, fire apparatus arrived with the assistance of mutual aid departments, and the fire was extinguished. And whereas, through quick thinking and amazingly heroic efforts of Private Brian Griffin, a woman and a dog still have a future, and he is truly deserving of our gratitude, admiration, and recognition. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby recognizes and thanks Private Brian Griffin for his heroic actions on that fateful night and for his dedication and service to the people of the city of Central Falls and the state. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Private Brian Griffin of the City of Central Falls Fire Department. House resolution recognizing the celebration of the lunar year, the year of the ox. Whereas the most important and popular of festivals, the date of the Lunar New Year celebration is fixed traditionally according to the lunar calendar as the second new moon after the winter solstice. And whereas Lunar New Year is celebrated by more than 20% of the world, this year, the celebration falls on February 12, 2021. And whereas no one is certain how far back the New Year celebrations go in history, their religious background involves clearing away the bad luck of the old year and beginning anew. It was also believed that the various godlike spirits had to report on the past year to the ruler of heaven, the Jade Emperor. Many still open the celebrations by burning a paper image of Sao Wang, the hearth god, thus sending him on his way 1 week before the new year. And whereas, usually on the day before New Year's Eve, men pay ceremonial visits to friends and associates, wishing them luck. On the last day of the year, final preparations are made for the family's New Year's Eve feast and the highlight of the celebration. Before the meal, all doors are sealed with strips of paper to prevent the entrance of evil, and no one may enter or leave until these are removed shortly before dawn. After the meal, gifts are exchanged, and at midnight, solemn greetings and family ceremonies take place. And whereas, traditionally, the festivities last 16 days until the Lantern Festival, a time for parades of elaborate paper lanterns and street dances by dragons or lions. New Year is also a time for giving alms to the poor and for eating specially lucky foods. And whereas, each lunar year is popularly known by one of the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac. These names provide a ready reference because each is used only once in 12 years. This year will be celebrated as the Year of the Ox. Now, therefore be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby recognizes the celebration of the Lunar New Year, the Year of the Ox. This House also wishes to extend its deepest respect and appreciation to the Rhode Island Asian community for all that it has contributed to the rich diversity of Rhode Island culture. The closeness of the traditional Asian family is dynamic, its dynamic work ethic, and its innumerable endowments to literature and the performing arts inspire us all. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to the Rhode Island Association of Chinese Americans. House Resolution honoring Battalion Chief Ken Brousseau of the City of Central Falls Fire Department. Whereas in the evening hours on January 11th of 2020, the Central Falls Fire Alarm Office received a box alarm. Fire companies were sent out under the direction of Battalion Chief Ken Brousseau, the shift commander, who arrived first at a large apartment building set back from the main road on Cross Street in Central Falls. And whereas, as Chief Brousseau approached the building's alarm panel, he encountered smoke in the first floor hallway and occupants armed with a fire extinguisher. They told the chief that apartment 103 was on fire and the occupant was still inside. And whereas Chief Brousseau entered the smoke-filled apartment, he could see an elderly man lying on the floor. He quickly reached the unconscious man and pulled him to safety as members of Ladder 1, under the command of Captain Sam Diamond, arrived and assisted in bringing the man to the stairway lobby. He soon regained consciousness and was quickly transported to the hospital, where he was treated and eventually released. The chief's quick actions surely saved the man from serious life-altering injuries or even death. And whereas Chief Brousseau, together with the on-duty shift, supervised extinguishing the fire and searched the large apartment building for any other occupants. Their efforts resulted in limited damage to other apartments in the building, which allowed tenants to return to their homes later that same evening. And whereas Sir Winston Churchill was quoted as saying, "We make a living by what we get, we make a life by what we give." There is no doubt that Battalion Chief Brousseau and members of the on-duty shift from that fateful night gave their best effort, and they have truly distinguished themselves as persons worthy of our utmost admiration and gratitude. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby recognizes Battalion Chief Ken Brousseau for his heroic actions in saving the life of an elderly man, and thanking him and all the on-duty firefighters who assisted for their dedication and services to the people of the City of Central Falls and the state. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Battalion Chief Ken Brousseau. I'm fine. House Resolution honoring Central Falls Fire Chief Robert E. Bradley Jr. on the occasion of his retirement. Whereas many people go through their life without any personal contact with a potential life and death situation, without a defining moment that turns an ordinary person into a hero. Members of the Rhode Island's fire departments face such challenges each and every week. Central Falls Fire Chief Robert Bradley is no exception. And whereas service to the community has been just a way of life for Chief Bradley, he is a lifelong resident of Central Falls and is the second generation from his family to have served to protect the citizens of the city. And whereas a veteran firefighter, Chief Bradley joined the Central Falls Fire Department on August 14, 1987. Rising through the ranks, he was appointed Fire Chief on January 4, 2013. He holds numerous degrees and certifications from NFPA, NIMS, the National Fire Academy, Rhode Island Fire Academy, Connecticut Fire Academy, Massachusetts Fire Academy, and New Hampshire Fire Academy. And whereas during his more than 3 decades with the department, Chief Bradley has led the department's 41 firefighters with diligence, consistently instituting improvement, professional development, and tireless dedication to the community, and has demonstrated that no goal is too vast and no amount of effort is too great to put forth in service to his colleagues and the community. And whereas, going above and beyond for the community, Chief Bradley has assumed the role of Santa Claus, arriving on a fire truck for Christmas in the park and participating in the city's annual Holiday Express breakfast. In addition, he has volunteered his bagpipe-playing musical talents at veterans events and other somber occasions. And whereas during Chief Bradley's tenure, the Central Falls Fire Department has developed into one of the strongest and most well-respected fire departments in Rhode Island, and he is eminently worthy of our gratitude and recognition. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby recognizes, honors, and thanks Fire Chief Robert E. Bradley, Jr. on the occasion of his retirement after more than 33 years of steadfast and dedicated service to the people of Central Falls and the State of Rhode Island. We wish him good health, fulfillment, and continued success in all his future endeavors. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Fire Chief Robert E. Bradley, Jr. House Resolution honoring Police Chief Major Daniel Barzykowski on the occasion of his retirement from the Central Falls Police Department. Whereas throughout history, our nation has been propitiously blessed with men and women who are willing to step forward and safeguard the freedoms and liberties we hold so dear. These often unsung heroes go about the day-to-day task of upholding the laws of this state, and it is fitting that we recognize their value and myriad contributions. And whereas Daniel Barzykowski was raised in the city of Central Falls, where his family still resides. He is a graduate of Central Falls High School, received a Master of Business Administration from Salve Regina University, and a master's degree in criminal justice with a concentration in cybersecurity and cyber intelligence. And whereas from August 1995 to August 1999, then officer Barzykowski served as a correctional officer at the Donald W. Wyatt Detention Facility. In December of 1999, he joined the Central Falls Police Department as a patrol officer. By consistently demonstrating integrity and outstanding leadership skills, he rose through the ranks and was promoted to sergeant in 2007, lieutenant in 2011, captain in 2012, and major in January of 2013. And whereas in the spring of 2019, Major Daniel Barzykowski was appointed Chief of Police by Mayor James Diosa and was unanimously endorsed by the City Council. He became the city's 17th police chief. And whereas professionally, Major Barzykowski has served as a past president of the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge No. 2, past commander of the Central Falls Police Honor Guard, a peer support counselor for the police department, and as a police liaison for the Rhode Island Special Olympics. And whereas Police Chief Barzykowski's dedication to his community has always gone beyond his duties as a police officer. He has helped to find jobs for many young people in the community, has helped families around Christmas through the Holiday Express program, and has conscientiously worked with Black Lives Matter Rhode Island for social equity and justice. And whereas Major Daniel Barzykowski is truly an officer and a gentleman, and the citizenry of Central Falls and Rhode Island lead far safer and more secure lives due to his extraordinary career. His dedication to the job and respect for his fellow police officers will be sorely missed. Now, therefore be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby recognizes, honors, and thanks Major Daniel Barzykowski on the occasion of his retirement after more than 21 years of steadfast and unselfish service to the people of Central Falls and the State of Rhode Island. We wish him good health, fulfillment, and continued success in all his future endeavors. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Major Daniel Barzykowski. House Resolution congratulating New Shoreham Police Chief Vincent Carlone on his retirement after 40 years of exemplary public service. Whereas New Shoreham Police Chief Vincent Carlone began his distinguished public safety career when he joined the Narragansett Police Department. While serving as a police officer in Narragansett, Chief Carlone impressed everyone with his tireless work ethic, attention to detail, and abiding concern for the safety and security of the people and property he protected on a daily basis. And whereas during his 21 years as a police officer in Narragansett, Chief Colon served as the commander of the Detective Division and supervisor of the Patrol Division, rising to the rank of lieutenant. And whereas Chief Colon joined the New Shoreham Police Department in 2003 and was chosen to serve as police chief in 2004. In his 17-year tenure in Block Island, he was able to enhance the investigative abilities of the department thanks to his expertise and long record of handling criminal cases while serving in Narragansett. And whereas Chief Colon was also a hands-on police chief, willing to assist people in need under any circumstance. A particularly dangerous event occurred in April of 2011, when he heroically rescued 2 fishermen who were clinging to their capsized vessel in the heavy surf off Block Island. Chief Colon was admired and deeply respected by all of his colleagues, and his record of outstanding service will be long remembered by the Block Island community. And whereas, in his free time, Chief Colon enjoys playing the guitar, spearfishing, and practicing martial arts. Now, therefore, be resolved that this House of Representatives in the state of Rhode Island hereby thanks New Shoreham Police Chief Vincent Colon for his 40 years of distinguished public service and wishes him a happy and healthy retirement and continued success in all his future endeavors. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Mr. Vincent Colon, Police Chief, New Shoreham. House resolution honoring Sonia Grace on the occasion of her retirement as the city clerk for the city of Central Falls. Whereas Sonia Grace has deep ties to the city of Central Falls. She is a resident of the city, and she and her husband Tim are raising their 5 children there. Her parents were originally from Portugal. The family moved to the United States when she was 15 and eventually made their home in Central Falls. And whereas in 2013, when James Dioso was elected mayor of Central Falls, he asked Mrs. Grace to serve as his chief of staff. At the time, the city was in turmoil. Government fraud and mismanagement had sent the city into bankruptcy proceedings and a state takeover. And whereas a 1998 Brown University graduate, Mrs. Grace is also fluent in Portuguese and Spanish, which enabled her to connect with many diverse communities that comprise the city of Central Falls. And whereas, to shake up day-to-day operations, Mayor Diosa subsequently named Mrs. Grace to the position of city clerk. In addition, she is vice chairwoman of the Central Falls School District Board of Trustees. And whereas Sonia Grace's commitment and unflagging optimism for moving the city of Central Falls forward has had a positive impact on the lives of those who live in the comeback city, and she is deserving of our emulation and acknowledgement. Now, therefore be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the state of Rhode Island hereby recognizes and thanks Sonia Grace for her dedication and service to the people of the city of Central Falls and the state. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Sonia Grace.